So Jen went and did a thing. Y'all got to see us moving around a little and stuff, but we finally found the right pieces for our dining room. So this beautiful, we call it a hutch. I know a lot of people call it something different, but it is so old and it is so beautiful. So you can see all the paint is cracking off. Basically, if you touch it, it'll start flaking. So I want to get some kind of lacquer to really seal that in. We love the look. We want it to look like this. We don't want to change that. But I do want to seal it so it doesn't lose a lot of paint. So we'll be doing that. But for now, we just stuck it in here and Jen decorated it. We also got the super old table. It is old, it is rickety, but it is solid. We absolutely love it. We think it's great and it fits well in here. The one thing that doesn't fit is the fridge. So that fridge is a very important piece in our household or homestead because when you have dairy animals, you basically need a second fridge to be able to hold everything. So we freeze goat's milk. We always have a lot of goat's milk on hand. And so we need a large fridge that can hold that. Honestly, we could probably use two just dedicated for our homestead and then the other one for, daily normal use. But the fridge is huge. So we had bought it new for our old place, and this one already came with a nice stainless steel one, so we left it where it is. But that one, I've taken like the handles off and everything, and it doesn't fit in our doors. So we're debating on if it needs to go into our basement, which would be quite the job, and I'm not even sure if it would fit. But it either needs to go into the basement or into my garage to have them out there, so it won't be in here because it really makes the space tighter than it needs to be. So see, you got the hutch over here, and I just kind of scan it. You got the big fridge that kind of takes up a spot, and then we got this beautiful built-in corner piece to showcase some stuff. So with that and our hutch and then the table in the middle, it's beautiful, but it doesn't make it bulky. It's just that guy. So we'll figure it out. But for now, we have a dining room table to eat at. Woohoo! Alright, let's go feed these animals. Then I got some very important things I want to show you all. First thing you'll notice, the piggos are out. They get to join the rest of the group. We'll talk about that here in a second. I gotta go feed these crazies. Okay, everybody's eating. What's up, Mama? Yeah, help me come up with a name with the black and white piglet there. She looks like a moo cow. Where you going? Check her out. Need name suggestions, and the Stivers tries the best to do so. Okay, we receive a bunch of inquiries and questions on how we train pigs to electrical fence. So it's actually a lot easier than you think, and it's an exactly same science as any other animal. So there's really a couple very basic rules you need to know with electrical fence. Number one rule, make sure it is hot and always hot. Don't ever give your animals a chance to realize that it is not electrified and it will not sting them. Rule number one. Rule number two, let them touch it. Don't be one of those when you let your animals into the fence and you're like trying to keep them back away from it and you're trying to do it. Let it naturally happen. Because 99.9% of the time, if your fence is hot and your animals are in, the first thing they're gonna do is touch it with their nose. It's the animal's instinct, it's what they do. What they're gonna do when they touch that fence with their nose, they're gonna bounce back. That 0.1% are the ones that jump forward. That's why you wanna stay out there for a minute. I've never had an animal do it since we've had the electrical fence. They all bounce back because they're trying to get away from it. Once they've bounced back, they're technically trained. Just like that easy. But the main thing is making sure your fence is hot, because if it is not, and they go to touch that fence and it doesn't shock them, they're gonna go straight through it. And the problem with that, especially with this fence, it's fish netting. If an animal tries to get through that, they're gonna get tangled up like shreds and pull the fence down. They're not just gonna run away. They're gonna get their feet hung up in it, they're gonna get their horns messed up in it, and it sticks to them like a fish net would stick to fish when you pull them up. So you wanna stay out, you wanna be around when they're learning how to test it so you can turn the power off if you need to. Because this does not have a function where it just stops shocking. It's gonna continue as long as they're in it. The last thing you need to know about this fencing, and I promise I'll stop talking about it, is their fur will not get stunk. So if they rub up against it or something like that, and it doesn't shock them, don't go freaking out that your fence isn't hot. It's their nose, it's the skin touch that gets them. Pigs are a lot easier because they ain't got a whole lot of fur, so it can penetrate through them. But dogs and goats and chickens, it's gonna get them on where you see bare skin, not where you see feathers or fur. They really have to get a hold of it if it's gonna sting through that. But I promise you, from experience, it hurts. See you later, petting zoo. Be good, mama. And so you may have already seen it in the background of this video already, but we have fence progress, and I want to show you. They're actually still here working. So I know I mentioned a while back ago that I really messed my truck up, and I know I talked about it in a live, but I'm not sure that I ever actually talked about it on a video. So you just saw it. That was the depth of my truck. What I did was our trailer that we had when we were moving in the furniture, the couch, it has its big black neck. Let me just show you. This guy right here. See that? Yeah. So what I did was, we got the couch put together, and I was like, hey babe, I'm gonna pull the trailer back around to where it goes. Okay. Didn't hear a sound. Didn't even think about it. Left the daggone tailgate down. And so when I turned, it just wrenched into that thing. Didn't really make a popping noise or anything like that. And I got out, I was like, you idiot, you're a poor truck. So it wouldn't close the tailgate at all, and that was more concerning than finally getting it closed and not being able to open it now. So that's a fantastic little dum-dum move that I did. So just a friendly reminder, if you're hauling a trailer, make sure you put your tailgate up so you don't have the same situation I did. But what I really wanted to show you, look at all that fencing. So we have had the awesome pleasure to meet French Construction. Jody French is his name. He's a small business owner. He does the construction. He owns it. It's just a small compound work that they do. And they have done amazing, y'all. So they got started Friday before the weekend hit. Today's Mondays when I shoot this. And Friday, they almost got every single post in the ground, every large post that had to be drilled and concreted. And then today, they finished doing all the posts. They've gotten all the T-posts up. Now they're putting in the H-braces. Now the concrete is set on the corner post. And we are like this close to doing some fence stretching. And, you know, we've talked about some of our situations we've had with some folks around here and just getting adjusted and, you know, newbies coming in, especially YouTube newbies. Doesn't always get the best looks, but we had that one incident, and ever since then, everything has been absolutely great. We've gotten to meet a lot of our neighbors. They've been super kind. Jody, this group right here doing this work are amazing people. It's the good-hearted souls and the good old boys that are here. We just hadn't met them yet. So they have done amazing. I'm super excited. Like, I'm getting overly excited about having this fence up. It's been one of my biggest dreams ever to just have like almost all of our property completely fenced in. It's amazing. So I know sometimes it sounds repetitive, but when something gets you excited, you want to talk about it. But I really want to, here in a minute, I'll get you down there and show you some of the specifics on the fencing, because I want to help you all if you're going through this fence. But if you're in the area local to southeastern Kentucky, which I know he travels quite a bit, make sure to check out French Construction. I'll make sure to list him down below. He's gonna hook y'all up with any kind of fence and needs. He is a great, great guy. You can't go wrong with him, and the way he's helped us out, especially with like putting this at the top of the list because he knew the urgency of what we had going on for just a no-go. Oh, Zena just decided to just go bark. Great dude. So if you need any kind of fencing stuff, make sure to call him. He will hook you up. When they got the deals, I pick up the bags. If you're unfamiliar, when you start rolling into the winter months, your local big department store, Lowe's, Walmart, stuff like that, will usually like highly reduce their price on their bag soil and potting mix and different stuff they have like that. So just go in there, ask them, like, hey, you got any kind of deals on your soil, trying to get rid of them before the next spring comes in, because they get whole new shipments. They usually cut you a deal. We got a pretty good discount on all that that they had. It wasn't a huge amount, but it was pretty sweet. So I'm going to fill the green stock up with that and get some 6 mil plastic off Amazon and try to see if we can overwinter some lettuce and different stuff in there and try to really produce some heat on it. Really excited about that because I've had the garden itch, not being able to get my hands in the dirt around here. But we got more good news. So I hadn't had a chance to really start digging into the soil and see what it looks like because all over here is my garden area. And Jody was telling me, he said, I don't know if y'all garden or not, but he said, y'all got great soil over here. Because they had the post hole digger and he was digging down. He said, you got nice, rich black soil a long ways down. So that's fantastic news to hear. So it's good to know our garden area. Looks like it's got nice, rich soil. We'll probably get it tested, just see what we're working with. It's always good to have all that information. We also found a nursery. It's not, 40 minutes away. It's not too bad. That does large bulk soil and compost. So I'm going to start getting some of that stuff. And basically what I'm going to do is a lasagna layer for in-ground gardening. And what I mean by lasagna layer is wherever you're going to prep a garden, put down the compost, put down the topsoil, cover it, let it rest in there and start absorbing itself. Then take the plastic off, till it into the ground, start treating it, layer it again, soil, compost, cover it back up, and then you're prepped for the spring garden. So in the coming weeks, I'll be doing that. Got to get the soil here. I got to get my sludge tarp. I know y'all love how I say sludge. And then we can start preparing a spot at least for an in-ground garden next year because I'm not worried about it wasting. Even if we move the tilled garden, wherever I put it, there's going to be a garden there. It just might not be in the exact format that it is the first year. But I've got to grow something. That being said, it's seed catalog time, right? So I've already got a large list of what I'm going to be getting from Hoss Tools, me and Jen. So we'll be reviewing that with you all and letting y'all know some of our favorites that we're excited for 2021 because we have a theme for 2021. Go less pretty, grow more canned. And what we mean by that is it's fun to grow the pretty, but what I'm realizing and what Jen's realizing is a lot of the pretty isn't the heavy producers that we want it to be. So we're going more classics. 2021 is going to have a classic theme of awesome, beautiful producers, but aren't going to be as pretty as we've grown in the previous years. When I say pretty, I mean unique. They're going to be more solid red tomatoes. They're going to be just more green beans. They're going to be more solid green okra. Unless the colorful, pretty ones and unique ones are heavy producers, which we have a couple that are on that list. But next year is canning, since we have that whole basement to fill up, and by goodness, we're going to do it. I'm really kind of pulling a southern goodbye here because I've said last thing like 6 times in this video. But the last thing is all over here, just out past that big dark walnut, which, by the way, no tomatoes or raised beds will be around the dark walnuts because I know that is not good for tomato plants. And if you didn't know, now you know. But we have so much acreage. I'm trying to picture it exactly where everything's going to be because we know we're going to have hot tunnels. We know we're going to build a greenhouse this year, and we're going to have a really large garden. So we're trying to picture what, because obviously we're not going to get all that done in 1 year. We're trying to picture what the long-term look is going to be, so that way whatever we put up permanently isn't in the way. So we'll get there. So a couple things we're doing, as you can see up there where our gate originally is, we're actually pulling it back here because we can have a nice straight shot across that way. Hold on with me. And across this way. So I like it as well because that gives us more driveway. So like if you're pulling in, say, trailers and different stuff like that, you have more room from the road, which will be really nice. But one thing that they're going to do, because it's going to be really difficult to get up this slope right here and down there, And over here, it's gonna be a really pretty entryway with wood. Kind of like what maybe you would see in a horse farm going down till it flattens out. So that's gonna be really neat. I'm really excited about that. But they got the H-post done, as you can tell here. So needless to say, there's some really exciting stuff happening on the homestead. I've really accepted the fact that sometimes allowing others to do this work, like the fencing, allows me to focus on other things that really need my attention right now. Comes loud. Like my actual work and the animals and getting the garden ready and my family, and the quickness that they've worked in 2 days already is something that would have taken me a lot longer to do. We're a one family show with no major equipment, and so sometimes you just have to accept to pay a little bit more and have someone do it for you so you can focus on other things and get to those other things quickly. So I'm excited. We're getting the order in for the soil. Fencing's almost done. We're very, very close to the end. And man, it's just an exciting time right now. Feel good, feeling great. Jen had an awesome birthday. It was an awesome weekend that we spent down in, we had a little time down in Gatlinburg. We got to do a little stuff with family, and it was just a great time. We look forward to this week. Hopefully you all stick around for the next video if this is your first one. And please do ask any questions that you have when it comes to the fencing. And make sure to check out Jody. He's an awesome guy. He has an awesome team. And he, for the right price, will go most anywhere. But he's southeastern Kentucky. He'll even go into Tennessee. So if you're in that area and you have some fencing needs, please check him out. Let him be your first phone call. Don't call some major big corporation, because they're going to do a ridiculous price. He treats you well, he's on time, and they get the job done. See y'all later. Didn't have Jim with me, and almost messed up our own ending. We love y'all. Until the next one. Bye.